Keep California cowgirls from vanishing.
Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Jumping at liberty to music, making our Morgan horses our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles area. Semi on the big steps. Morgan horse Sadie doing obstacles rainlessly.
Semi drives a cart. Sadie pulls a log. Sadie learns to pull a cart. Miniature zebu heifer Susie learns to drive a cart. Bull Rusty learns to pull a harrow. We're doing some more white jump desensitization for Semi. We're going to try to show you in very small segments, small steps, progress with Semi over white PVC and white vinyl jumps, both out of saddle and in saddle. Now this is a white PVC jump that I made out of remnant pieces of PVC and umbrella stands with sand in them. Brianna's going to show you what her present status is about crossing when the rail, which is white, is on the ground. Zero stress. Turn around, go back the other way. The problem with Sam, her stress is not created by height of jump, but by color of jump. Good, very nice. Now I'm going to stop the camera for a minute and put it up a little bit. Okay, we've lifted it just onto the umbrella stands. Go ahead. So it's just a couple inches off the ground. I don't think we're going to see any stress. She tipped it with her leg. She didn't quite lift her leg up high enough. But I don't think, though, that that kind of tip is going to stress her. Let's see. No, no problem. Okay, one more rung up. Okay, now we've got the PVC high on only one side, high about a foot. A couple inches, maybe 3-4 inches on the short side. Let's see if this scares Semi. Because we've gotten her to walk over white PVC and white vinyl jumps from the ground without stress. And you can see we're not quite getting it now. Let her go around. Oh, that's okay. Okay, let her go around. We're going to like approach retreat, see what she says. There you go. She understood at that time, and she's trying. She's trying to do it for you. There you go. She did that very nicely. See if she's willing again, and if she wants to go around, that's okay. As long as when we come around, we try again. Okay, resistance, showing you every step of the way. And try to look ahead and stay out of the way. And if she comes around here, that's okay. As a matter of fact, walk her around. It's not that we're letting her get away with resistance and backing off. It's just that we're doing like an approach retreat thing, showing her that in small steps, it's no big deal, trying to get her to want to do it. Yeah, just go around. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move that umbrella stand over there by your legs a little bit out so you can use a corridor. Okay, we made a little bit more of a corridor over there. Let's see if we can get Sam to go across on either side. You could see that she was willing. She tipped it. Now let's see what she says. Try not to look at her. Yeah. I'm going to go try to help. Okay, you can come around. You see, we've made it a little bit more challenging because it's high on one side. She tipped it last time. We've been working about 5 minutes. Ah, now she smelled it. She said, boy, that's pretty high. Around again. All right, come around. And you know what? That was willingness. Yeah. She was a little bit stressed by it, but she said, oh, okay, I'll do it. Now bring her up to it and then back her off. And that'll be all we're going to ask of her today. Shadrach Triton Semi, my stallion, in memory of my stallion, his legacy. A look at that. She says, no, I'm not coming up there again. So I'm going to try to help. That's all right. Good, good, good. And then back her off. Good. Lightness. We want lightness in everything we do. So that was our session today. We'll do some exercises with Sadie to prepare her better for the counter canter. There's a 3-minute video on YouTube. If you search Google with counter canter, you'll find it. An Australian fellow, I think he's Australian, and he showed a very beautiful demonstration on turf like here. In a small area, no fences, where he moved the forequarters, the hindquarters, and did a spiral exercise and a small circling exercise in saddle with total lightness. And so, in order to get ready to get better at the counter canter, we're going to start doing that as well. We want total lightness from the ground and then from saddle. So let's see what we have here with Sadie. I'm pretty sure she'll just follow me in a circle without question in both directions. And she's being very light. Woo. This looks easy when a horse is willing to do it. Not so easy if the horse doesn't understand or doesn't want to do it. Whoa, very light. We have a rope halter on. It has 2 knots here on either side of the nose, and I'm making sure that the knots are just about where the bone ends. Don't want it too low, constricting her nostrils. Now I'm going to ask for a back, although that wasn't part of the exercise. Back. We noticed yesterday when we were trying to work with Sadie on the counter canter from saddle, just trying to get the arcs and the bends and moving the hindquarters and the forequarters, that when she got frustrated, she threw her head a lot. So we'd stop with our objective and we backed her up 7-8 steps with vertical flexion and lightness. And that's how we're dealing with that attitude problem. She says, no, I don't want to do it anymore, or I don't understand. So we're asking to get her focused by backing, and then we go and we try again. Now, I'm going to see forward impulsion is extremely important, and I want to keep the forequarters straight. This is easier to do in saddle, but I'm going to try it from the ground. I'm going to ask Sadie just to stand here and give me a hind end disengagement, which means she has to step over with her back legs. Good. There you go. Good. One direction. Back, 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 back. Real good. Step over there. Good. Whoa. Now this may not be as easy. By the way, her mom Eve is standing here trying to figure out what we're doing. I'm going to ask her to back, back. Excellent. Did you see the forequarters moving and the step over? And we're going to have to just move the camera because we don't want to ask Eve to move right now. She's not going to be worked today because she's still recuperating from a possible kick on her back when one of my border horses got into her space. Back. Now, once again, I want the pivot on the hind end. I want the front end to move to the right or to the left, and I want the crossover on the moving legs. Back. Back. If I were in saddle, I would want the forward motion, but not today from the ground. There. Try it the other direction. I'm kind of trying to stand in front of her so she understands I don't want her to go forward at this moment. There. I got 2 really good step overs without the forward motion. So from the saddle, which we'll do next time, we're going to try to get her to do nice small circles and spirals. Now here's what I mean by a spiral. I'm going to go out to the west. didn't quite get it going this direction. I'm going to try it again. It's hard to do from the ground. Easier to do from the saddle. It's like a serpentine, but we want most definite front end step overs when we change the spiral. Whoop. I'm using this arm extension, the length of it, to help me so that I don't have to run out of her way. And then, when I get her attention, I ask her with rhythmic tapping to move her forequarters in one direction or the other, and yet to continue to go forward. So, we're going to get this uploaded, and our next attempt will be from saddle.
Julie Goodnight on RFD TV suggests that to slow down the canter, raise your reins and bump on alternate sides. When the head comes down, immediately release. Here we try it with Semi.
Semi today in the arena, we're going to try a new technique that I learned from Julie Goodnight. Actually, just this morning on RFD TV, she was helping a rider slow down her canter. And she said that for that particular horse, it was very important to alternately apply pressure with your reins up and not back. So we're going to see if that helps Semi slow down the canter, because we haven't completely conquered the counter canter yet, although we did get her to do it once. We really feel that it's critical to be able to move the hips over in the direction of the lead that you're seeking. So if you're seeking a counter canter lead, the hips have to move in that direction. And we're going to continue work on that and show you our progress. We're also working with Semi. Every time we come to the arena, we leave it set up, her desensitization to white vinyl jumps. And we're doing it today in saddle, and we'll show you where she's at. Okay, let's try in both directions. The canter. Semi's pretty good about picking it up. Don't worry about, counter canter now, just the lead. And to slow her down, lift your hands up and alternately apply, a bump. And then as soon as you feel that she's slowing down and rounding in her neck and giving you vertical flexion, in a split second, put your hands down so that she understands that she's giving you the right answer. Okay, let's see what happens. So we want that to come way down in speed. That's why we're trying to learn the counter canter. Alternate bumping. She slowed down, didn't she? Okay, but I didn't see you put your hand down. You have to remember to give her the cue that she's done it. Yes. And then if she speeds up again, bring your hands back up and bump it. Slow down just now. Okay, come on over here. Katie, there's one other thing, we'll do this next time, that I think is kind of critical, especially in this part of her training, is next time, let's use one of the bridles that has the slobber straps on it. And here's the reason. If you're releasing pressure, because you're getting the right answer, those slobber straps will help to release the pressure ever so faster. Okay? All right, let's go in the other direction. A little bit too fast again for us. Bump, bump, bump. Alternate reins. Oh, she slowed down a bit. And then bring your hand down, and then as soon as she slows up, you give her the cue that she has to slow down again, and we'll do that with repetition. Good, good. All right, now we're going to show you, just to give you an update on her vinyl jump desensitization. She's still too stressed to do it softly when we're in saddle. By trial and error, we found that if we walked Semi up to the fence and we deal with her stresses, you see she's trying to get away, so we back her up at least half the arena, 7-8 steps, walk her back up to the fence, ask her to relax, give her petting and reward for relaxing. But you see that avoidance. We're trying to make this Semi's idea to go over the white vinyl rails, which are crossed but essentially on the ground. This time when you get up to the fence, look to your left and ask her to do it. Not yet. There you go. All right, see, she was willing to do it, but with stress. Now we'll do it from the other direction, and we'll keep showing you every chance we have how she's doing. From the ground, we can get her to walk over this white vinyl jump cross rail easily, but in saddle, it's yet another challenge. See the avoidance? So we get focus, we get discipline by asking her to back, which she's pretty good about doing. If we keep asking her to back whenever she gives us the wrong answer, she'll figure out that the wrong answer doesn't get her out of the task. We try to ask her to take the jump when we're closer to the jump so that she doesn't get all revved up as she approaches the jump. But she knows that we're doing that now, and you see her avoidance behavior. So it's going to take repetition, pressure when she gives us the wrong answer, and if she gives us the right answer, we'll quit for today. We do our lessons in short sessions now. There you go. There she went. Not without stress, but she was willing to do it. Today we're working with Sadie in the arena, in saddle, and we're trying to get her to do what we call a spiral, or a serpentine. Now coming from the diagonal end, watch Brianna ask Sadie with her hands up and her feet applying pressure, yes, yes, just at the cinch or in front of the cinch, and very lightly asking for a serpentine, yet maintaining the forward motion. I got up on Sadie because we were having a little bit of a communication problem. So I know Sadie very well. I'm going to ask her to move that hip over. And I've got my spurs on. So I am going to look back at the hip. And I've got my spur on, so I'm just touching her. Now I'm going to see if I can walk forward and move that hip to my left. Did it look like her hip was to the left?
Yes.
And yet she was staying forward?
Yes.
It was like I needed a vibrator on my leg. I just kept touching her. Remove, touch, remove, touch, almost as if my leg were a vibrator. And then I had to remember to keep my hands up to keep that vertical flexion. and not hang on her mouth. Out on the turf now, this is the next day with Sadie. We're asking her on a long diagonal to give us a serpentine. We're in a flat saddle. We've got spurs on, but we're finding that just with the toe, a little bit of a cue with our toe at the shoulder makes her realize that she needs to cross over on this serpentine. Yes, very nice. We're getting the crossover. That's what we want. Nice. And see how the hands are up to keep that vertical flexion and lightness. Very nice. Now we're going the other direction. Brianna noted that the crossover makes it a very fluid movement. She knows exactly, Sadie seems to know exactly what Brianna's asking. Look at that. Beautiful. Is that not nice control of the four quarters? Yes, and the hands are up, everything is light. Sadie is going without stress on this serpentine exercise here out on the turf. It's enclosed by fences, but it's a much bigger area.
So the first thing that I would say in trying the serpentine is timing is everything. It takes for Sadie, it takes bringing the reins up and a little bit of neck rein on the side from what you want her to turn away from, and a little bit of direct rein on the other side. It doesn't take much, just a light movement like this would do it, but also you have to, with the side you want her to move away from, you have to touch lightly her shoulder. Just very lightly. You can even just hold it there, because as she walks, her shoulder will move into your foot and she'll feel it. But the key is to, when you're turning one way, you want to do it real fast. Is the transition, is being able to do one and then the other really fast, without a hesitation or movement of any kind.
Okay, so she's understanding the cues. She certainly looks stress-free, and we're going to work our way up in speed, because everything is harder when you go faster, with all of these exercises ultimately going to the canter.
Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Sammy, Rusty, and Susie. Heifer calf Sela. For more information, www.cowgirlchannel.com.